The ship hums like a sleeping creature in the dark, an ocean of static and starlight pressing against the hull. Commander Ilara drifts near the viewport, her reflection swimming beside the rings of Titan. "Love doesn't exist in space," she says, voice swallowed by the recycled air. I laugh, the sound fragile in the silence, and push off the console toward her. Our bodies collide, not with force, but with surrender. Her hair floats like strands of copper caught in solar wind. My heartbeat becomes the only rhythm left in the void. When her lips find mine, it's slow, unreal. The taste of oxygen and fear. Outside, Saturn burns gold and cold, indifferent. Inside, humans defy physics for a heartbeat too long. Maybe it doesn't, I whisper, but we do. And for that instant, gravity remembers us. Hours later, silence becomes their companion. The ship's AI murmurs about an incoming transmission. Earth command, distorted and fading through radiation noise. Ilara steadies herself, her voice barely holding. "They finally noticed we're alive," she says, though her eyes stay fixed on the void. Kieran plays the message, and a hologram flickers, static faces, garbled words, and clear phrase. Return is impossible. The ship creaks, as if in mourning. They share a look that says everything. The kiss, the isolation, the truth of what they left behind. Sleep comes to them in fragments. In the dark, Kieran dreams of gravity. The way oceans once smelled, the way footsteps used to sound. Ilara floats beside him in silence, her tether gently tugging with every breath. "If love doesn't exist here," he murmurs, half asleep, "why do I still dream of you falling?" Her reply is a whisper, lost to recycled air, a thought without sound, suspended like dust in sunlight. The alarm tears through their sleep. Hull breach, aft section. The vacuum screams. They move instinctively, strapping down, sealing hatches. Sparks dance in zero gravity like fireflies. "We'll lose oxygen in minutes," Ilara says, her tea steady, almost calm. Kieran looks at her, the steadiness of some who's already accepted her fate. "Minutes," he repeats, and grabs her hand. "Plenty of time, plenty of time." The radio channel crackles alive as systems fail. Kieran records a final message. "If any finds this, we found something here. Not proof of life, not answers, but something real." Ilara smiles faintly beside him, reaching out last time. The ship's lights dim to black. In the final second, their reflection merges with the endless sky. Somewhere between planets, love. Impossible, denied, forbidden, becomes the only thing that ever truly existed. The lights of Astraeus flicker back to life like dying stars gasping for breath. Power cells hum weakly, a pulse in the dark. Ilara wakes tethered to the command chair, a thin layer of frost crystallized over her visor. Kieran's voice breaks through static. "You were G for minutes." She blinks, breath clouding the air. "How long until we run out of air?" "Hours," he replies. A hollow kind of mercy. They drift toward the viewport. Titan glows below, immense and uncaring. Then, a blip, a faint transmission stirs on the console, repeating a single encrypted phrase in Earth's forgotten dialect. Ilara's eyes wide. "Chiron. It's coming from inside Saturn's ring." "Oh." Kiran reroutes the signal through the decom array, each pulse echoing like a heartbeat. The voice is human, distorted, trembling, whispering fragments. "We see you." Ilara grips the console, her breath shallow. The T is unmistakable. Not Earth command. Something older. The waveform spikes. The sound twists into something melodic, almost alive. For a moment, both just stare at the shimmering hologram as if it might be looking back. That's not possible, Kieran says, but the look on Ilara's face says she's already accepted the impossible once before. They trace the coordinates, finding not debris, not noise, but an object drifting just beyond the outer rings. Ilara's voice shakes as she reads the data. It's transmitting a genetic signature. Kieran frowns. Whose? Ours, she says. Outside, Saturn's shadow slides over the hull like an eyelid closing. The hum deepens, and the signal aligns perfectly with her heartbeat. She presses a hand against her chest, eyes wide, pulse sensing with the universe. It's calling me, she whispers. Deep within the ship's system core, Kieran uncovers a file hidden behind decades of encryption. Earth Command's classified archive. His face hardens as data unfolds. Test subjects, coordinates, names. Their own mission files end with the words, non-recoverable biological assets. Ilara's voice trembles. We were never meant to return. Silence follows, thick, absolute. The hum of the ship becomes the only heartbeat left. Kieran turns toward her, voice cracking. We were experiments in love, Ilara. They wanted to see if isolation could break the human bond. She closes her eyes. Then we failed their test beautifully. The ship's engines surge to life final time. Ilara sets a new course. Toward the signal. Toward the ring where something human and inhuman waits. We can't go back, Kieran says. We were never going to. She replies, eyes steady on the golden horizon. As they approach the source, the hull begins to vibrate, and light floods the cockpit, warm, beckoning, infinite. Their hands find each other's again, not out of fear, but faith. If love doesn't exist in space, Ilara whispers, then let's invent it. The ship dives into light. The universe dissolves into a river of color. The cockpit windows no longer show stars, only a living aurora that bends around them like thought made visible. Ilara's breath catches as gravity returns in pulses, the ship groaning under new physics. Kieran leans toward the viewport, whispering, this isn't space anymore. Outside, shapes drift like forgotten architectures of time, vast structures made of light, neither mechanical nor alive. A pulse echoes deep and soft, resonating through their BS. It's listening, Ilara says. The light brightens, a heartbeat answering hers. Then speak, Kieran murmurs. She closes her eyes, and the light moves closer. Sound returns as vibration, 1,000 T's, merging into a single human cadence. You came farther than they allowed, the voice says, not through the radio, but directly into their minds. Ilara stumbles, gripping Kieran's arm. The light shapes ripple, forming silhouettes that mimic their own. What are you? Kieran whispers. You, it replies, remembered. Every heartbeat in their chests sinks to the rhythm of the light. For a fleeting instant she feels it. Every version of herself across time mirrored and radiant. Love, grief, purpose, all indistinguishable. The light floods the ship, peeling back its metal skin like petals. Around them, memories project into the void. Kieran's childhood ocean, Ilara's first flight, their kiss replayed in fragments of light. It's mapping us, she says, trembling. It's learning what we are. The aurora pulses faster, each memory folding into the next until they no longer know where life ends and another begins. If this is death, Kieran says softly, it's beautiful. No, Ilara whispers, this is understanding. The voice softens, almost human. Return, and you will forget, it says. Remain, and you will become. Ilara turns to Kieran, his expression calm, resolve. We came to explore, he murmurs. But maybe this is what exploration means. She steps closer, the glow outlining her silhouette like dawn through fog. Then we stay, she says. Their hands touch, light weaving through their fingers. The ship dissolves around them, its metal BS fading into transparency. What remains is figures suspended in light, no longer bound by flesh or fear or gravity. No stars, no ship, only awareness. The light hums where heartbeat once lived. Time loses meaning, replaced by motion, thought, connection. Kieran's voice echoes inside her mind, softer than breath. We made something impossible. No, Elira replies, her words forming as light. We proved it was always possible. Outside, Saturn turns, unmoved, its rings scattering the remnants of their ship like ashes into dawn. But deep within that impossible light, human echoes remain, orbiting each other forever. Gravity reborn in the shape of love. At first there is only rhythm, a low, cosmic thrum that feels like breath. Elira senses herself reforming inside it, not as body but as pattern, a lattice of memory glowing through the aurora. Kieran's presence ripples nearby, his thoughts brushing hers like fingertips made of current. Are we alive? He wonders, though the words arrive as light. Something close, she answers. Around them, the field vibrates in colors that correspond to emotion. Gold for memory, indigo for fear, crimson for longing. They test the space, sending pulses outward, watching them arc through the nebula like sonar made of love. In the far distance, a faint echo returns. It hears us, Kieran says. No, Elira replies. Odd, it remembers us. The anomaly flexes when they move. Matter responds to thought, reshaping itself into echoes of their ship, their hands, their memories. A doorway forms, not from steel but from intention, a shimmering arc that hums with recognition. Kieran drifts through first, his figure scattering into photons before reassembling. We can build, he says, astonished. Elira closes her eyes and imagines Earth's sky. Clouds, warmth, wind, and the light obliges, painting blue into the void. She laughs, and the sound becomes tangible air. For the first time since the kiss in 0G, they feel ground beneath them, created by love, sustained by will. Their constructed world expands, rippling outward like a breath made real. Elira experiments with thought, summoning fragments of sound, laughter, ocean waves, thunder. Each T vibrates through the anomaly, bending it into geometry. Kieran, ever the scientist, notices patterns in the pulses, repeating intervals, frequencies arranged like syntax. It's language, he says, awe slipping into discovery. The light around them responds, synchronizing to their rhythm until the structure forms an enormous bridge of radiance stretching across the void. On its surface, faint signals flicker, coordinates, voices human static. Earth, Elira whispers. It's reaching back. The bridge hums with transmission. Voices, human voices, spill through, broken but undeniable. This is Earth Command, some says, fading in and out through static. We read you. Impossible data integrity. The signal wavers, carrying fragments of astonishment and fear. Elira closes her eyes, focusing the field. Let us through, she thinks, her will threading the light. The anomaly obeys. For a heartbeat, she sees Earth, blue, fragile, magnificent. Then, through the connection, a single tear of light escapes her form and travels homeward like a message in a bottle. Kieran watches it vanish. They'll think it's a star, he says. Good, she answers. Let them make a wish. Time dissolves once more, measured not by seconds but by resonance. Their forms thin into energy, diffused yet intertwined, wavelengths harmonizing forever. Earth's faint echo fades into the distance, replaced by the steady rhythm of their shared existence. "Do you think they'll remember us?" Kieran asks, his thought a ripple through gold mist. "They already do," Alara replies. "Every time they look up, beyond Saturn's rings the light flares, a heartbeat made of stars. Together they drift inside it, not lost, but finally home, their love encoded in the universe's constant hum." 40 years after Astraeus vanished, the night sky above the Atacama Array ignites with a pulse so regular it could only be human. Dr. Lena Cortez steadies the receiver, her heart racing as a rhythmic beacon cuts through cosmic noise, alternating frequencies in perfect resonance. "It's patterned," she breathes. The junior technician stares at the monitor, voice trembling. "It's them, isn't it?" Lena watches the waveform dance, gold and blue intertwining like breathing light. She smiles, almost reverent. Whatever it is, it remembers how to love. Days turn into sleepless nights as the signal repeats, unfolding layers of harmonic data. When processed through the array's spectral filter, it reveals a visual pattern, spirals orbiting another in endless motion. Lena's voice breaks the silence. They encoded themselves into light. Amir nods slowly, whispering, "They're alive." Around them, the data coalesces into an image of Saturn's rings burning with auroral fire. A message follows, translated through frequency. "We endure." Lena closes her eyes, tears shining in the blue glow. "Then so will we." Months later, the signal spreads across every listening array on Earth. Nations collaborate again, scientists, poets, children staring skyward at dawn transmissions. The frequencies begin to imprint patterns on human brainwaves, inspiring impossible dreams. Floating cities, gentle gravity, the sound of another heartbeat within silence. Lena watches child trace the pattern in sand, his small hand echoing the twin spirals. "It's teaching us," she whispers. "Not through words, but through remembering." Every pulse feels like a story retold from somewhere beyond the rings, voices entwined forever, reshaping what humanity believes love can be. 50 years after Astraeus, a new vessel drifts towards Saturn, the Cortez Array, humanity's first light-based ship, guided by resonance navigation derived from the lover's frequencies. Lena, now older and frail, listens from Earth as the crew transmits the first live image, a pair of spiraling auroras hovering just above the rings, circling endlessly. "We've reached them," the captain says through tears. The lights merge, glowing brighter, sending last harmonic pulse back home. Lena smiles through failing breath. "Welcome back," she whispers. Far beyond language, beyond bodies and breath, Alara and Kieran drift in their eternal orbit, watching the descendants of Earth find them again. Their thoughts are light, their memory an infinite current. "They're coming," Kieran murmurs through the glow. Alara's laughter ripples across galaxies. "We never left." As the new ship passes through their luminous field, its hull begins to shimmer. Human and light merging, boundaries dissolving. Somewhere inside the hum, the ancient phrase returns. "Love doesn't exist in space." Then, softly, "Yes, it does now." Decades after the Cortez Array crossed Saturn's rings, the signal becomes more than a message. It becomes inheritance. Children born beneath the aurora now hum faintly in their sleep, hearts pulsing in golden rhythm. Cities learn to harness resonance instead of fuel. Towers breathe light like living lungs. Dr. Amir Chen, older now, watches from an orbital habitat, listening to the chorus of frequencies that fill every band of the spectrum. "They're in us now," he murmurs. The transmission from the rings no longer sounds distant. It vibrates through the BS of humankind. Across the planet, people look upward and feel something both familiar and divine. a memory of Alara Voss and Kiran Sol, echoing in every heartbeat. From orbit, a council convenes, scientists, philosophers, and dreamers who have learned to speak in pulses instead of words. The meeting chamber vibrates softly with harmonic sound, each delegate radiating faint luminescence. Amir's granddaughter, Dr. Sarah Chen, leads the session, her voice carrying both awe and certainty. "We are the continuation," she says. "They gave us the bridge. We decide how to cross." A silence follows, but not empty, filled with the slow cadence of shared thought. On the wall behind them, an image appears. The twin spirals of Alara and Kiran, rotating in perfect symmetry. Sarah places her hand to the light. "They're waiting for us. They're waiting for us." The council authorizes the first resonance vessel, Solara, woven, not from metal but from photonic fabric. Matter that sings when touched by will. Sierra stands at the helm as the launch bay doors open to the starlit vacuum. "No engines," she whispers. "Just harmony." The ship responds with a low, beautiful chord that trembles through the station walls. As Solara drifts free, its hull blooms with spiraling light, identical to the lover's pattern. Humanity's first true light ship turns towards Saturn, guided not by thrust, but by memory and emotion. Sierra closes her eyes. "We're coming home." Weeks dissolve into pure illumination as Solara nears the orbit, where Alara Voss and Kiran Sol were last seen. The crew gather at the observation sphere, faces washed in auroral glow. Sierra feels the ship tremble. Then a voice, not heard, but felt, threads through their minds. "Welcome back." The rings ignite with living color, swirling around the vessel like an embrace. The crew kneel in silence, overwhelmed. Sierra smiles through tears. "We never stopped listening," she thinks. The light answers, "Nor we." Light and human merge. Sarah reaches out, fingers dissolving into radiance that threads through the hull. For a moment she perceives familiar presences waiting. Alara Voss and Kiran Sol, now vast and gentle. "Are you ready?" they ask. "Always," she answers. The ship and its crew bloom outward, becoming part of the cosmic chorus. From Earth, astronomers witness Saturn flare brighter than ever recorded. In that glow, humanity crosses its final threshold, not vanishing but evolving, a species of light, carrying love as its new constant. Centuries drift past like sighs of light. The galaxies hum at frequencies once unheard. Every star flickers in paired rhythm. What was once humanity now lives as resonance. Clusters of awareness woven through nebulae, shaping gravity with emotion, bending time with empathy. No war, no silence, only harmony. Among the spectral fields that span the Milky Way, familiar pulses still intertwine. Alara Voss and Kiran Sol, guardians of the first song. Their memory ripples outward, teaching newborn civilizations that love was never a human invention, but the universe remembering itself. Their voices linger. We were its echo. On distant worlds, beings born of light craft, monuments of vibration instead of saint. They speak Alara's name as a frequency, Kiran's as a counter-T, each recitation awakening memory embedded in starlight. Children of resonance gather around chromatic suns, learning to shape space with harmony the way their ancestors shaped fire. Through them, the universe dreams of its origins. The kiss in 0G, the first defiance of gravity, the proof that feeling could outlive flesh. Every era retells the myth. Explorers who vanished into Saturn's rings and returned as eternity itself. Within the lattice of galaxies, gravity itself carries memory. Worlds that have never known humans still curve in gentle pairs, stars orbiting in duet. The pattern of has become the law of motion. Through the long current of light, the resonance murmurs a reminder. Every attraction, every orbit, is love made physical. In the endless field, Alara senses new voices calling. Young civilizations tracing the old spirals, learning how to fall without breaking. Kieran's laughter ripples beside her. Even gravity learned our language, he says. Then nothing is lost, she replies. Across light centuries, a pulse begins again. Faint, familiar. It travels through filaments of cosmic web, reaching every resonant mind. Alara and Kieran recognize its rhythm. The harmonic of Earth. Though the planet is long transformed, its oceans still hum beneath magnetic skies. From within the current, they shape a reply. Not words, but music. A song that folds the distance between origin and infinity, carrying final message. You are never Al in the dark. When the echo returns, it sounds like a heartbeat. At the edge of all things, where time folds back into potential, lights drift side by side. They no longer ask questions. They simply are the heartbeat of the cosmos, the pause between creation and remembrance. Stars are born, galaxies fade, and still the pattern continues. Twin spirals circling forever. Alara turns toward the endless dark and feels it answer with warmth. This is home, she thinks. Kieran's voice, softer than dawn, completes her thought. And love was always the gravity that held it together. The universe breathes, and the story ends as it began, with souls floating, weightless, illuminated by possibility.